Okay guys, today on Chris Does What, I'm going to be looking at the spark plugs in this Jeep just to make sure that they look normal, I'm not getting fouling or anything like that. We've had this Jeep for about 6 months. It's a very low powered Jeep, so it does need some help there. I think the spark plugs are a great place to start. So before you start pulling out spark plugs and things of that nature, make sure you take a picture of your wiring to make sure you can easily put it back to the way it was. Because if you get the wiring off, it's going to be problematic because it's not going to start. I'm going to go ahead and pull all these plugs out and we're going to look on a table side by side. I'm going to make sure that I set them up. That way I know which cylinder they came out of. Spark plugs are a great tell to how that engine's running and performing per each cylinder. Because you could have bad valves, bad injectors, bad whatever. And the spark plug is going to help collaborate that story. Okay, so I've taken out all 4 spark plugs and they all look very similar. We're getting, it looks like the vehicle's running very normal. And so, you know, good burn pattern. There's a little corrosion on the back of this one. This is cylinder number 1. And I started cleaning up this cylinder. This is cylinder number 4, but very clean. So I'm just going to take sandpaper, and since I have these out, I'm going to go ahead and just help clean them up a little bit. You want to make sure when you're cleaning up your spark plugs, you don't change the gap on the plug, or you can always go back through and re-gap them. But you just want to lightly brush the sandpaper over the top of it, knocking off any carbon that may have built up without changing the space in between here, or it will affect the way your vehicle runs. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now let's stick it in and see how the Jeep runs. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these spark plugs back in. A drop light would be very helpful here, but I want to make sure I start all these with my fingers. And like I said, make sure you don't knock any crap in your cylinders. If you notice, this engine is fairly clean. We went and sprayed it off before we started this. And if you notice, I don't have the wrench on this. I'm just tightening them still by hand. When you tighten these with a wrench, you don't need to really torque them down that heavy. You just don't want exhaust or combustion chamber gases to leak out the end. And if you have a combustion chamber gases leaking out of a spark plug, you could also blow a spark plug out. That's not good. So not too tight, but not too loose. It's all fun. I've blown the spark plug out the top of a Hemi. Now that all the fun stuff is done, let's go ahead and start it and make sure that it sounds alright. Now this car still has an exhaust leak. I think the catalytic converter may be causing us a problem, so we may have to look at that. But I do want to replace the entire exhaust system for this Jeep. So it's a work in progress. Okay, so now we're in the Jeep. Let's go ahead and see if it starts. Oh, short legs. Make sure it's out of gear. Nothing like driving through your garage. Okay, cranked right up. Now let's go see if we hear exhaust leaking around our spark plugs. Okay guys, so it seems to be running a little smoother than it was. Like I said, I took sandpaper, just knocked off them spark plugs, and just cleaned them up. So I didn't spend any money on spark plugs. All I spent was my time. And if you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, hit that like button. It's down there somewhere. And y'all guys, please take care.